Welcome. A new coach for the Vikings. State lawmakers are proposing legislation to legalize sports betting here.
It is currently legal in our border states, both Wisconsin and Iowa. Paul Bloom joining us now live from the Capitol. And Paul, this is expected to get bipartisan support this time around.
It sure is, Randy and Amy. And after Dawn's coverage there, I'm fired up to talk about sports betting here. Of course, coming off the Super Bowl, the hiring of the Vikings' new coach. Lawmakers here who are making this proposal believe momentum very much on their side to get this legislation passed this session.
The proposal here is good for tribes, it's good for tracks, but most importantly, it's good for the consumers.
A bipartisan group of state senators insist they've got the winning ticket to legalize sports betting in Minnesota this year. A bill currently coming together would allow for gamblers to place bets on their favorite pro teams at the state's 2 horse racing tracks, as well as the tribal casinos, so-called brick-and-mortar locations. The legislation would also pave the way for online gaming operations the state would tax when bets are placed from phones and tablets off tribal land.
This obviously has to be bipartisan, and the tribes need to be involved. And it is important that their voice is honored and heard, and that is the intent, I believe, of how we are going to move forward.
What's unclear is whether the state's tribal nations that currently control and operate much of the state's gaming infrastructure would go along with the package. They were not tipping their hand Wednesday, as any gambling legislation may ultimately take revenue away from their casinos.
We are saying, we got something here for this will protect your interests, give you full rights. The state gets a little bit, the consumers get a lot, the state gets a little bit, and the 2 tracks get something as well.
We can't forget the fact that it's fun. It is so fun, and there are protections in there for those with gambling issues.
And Karen Housley excited about it too. Now the Minnesota Indian Gaming Association continues to take the same position on legalized sports betting. They're watching how it's happening across the country and the impact on tribal communities, and that they stand ready to work with lawmakers on the future here in Minnesota. The governor open to the conversation, suggesting the legislature should work closely with partners, particularly those tribal nations. And finally, the timeline here, if it gets passed through both chambers and signed by the governor this session, it could be up and running by the fall of 2023. We're live in the Capitol tonight. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.
All right, Paul, thank you.